Tonight on TV2 News, we sat down with Kent State's Pandemic Response Committee President, what the university can expect in the coming weeks. An interview you'll only find on TV2 News.
And concerts at the Kent stage may soon be making a comeback. What to do if you already have tickets to a previously canceled show. All the details ahead.
The Gulf Coast is preparing for yet another hurricane during the season. More on how they are gearing up for another storm and the worst hurricane season they've seen in years.
And 3 of the world's biggest tech CEOs were summoned to testify on Capitol Hill today. A recap on your social media security as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Wednesday evening. Thank you for choosing us tonight. I'm Chris Abreu.
And I'm Shane Troyano. And at the halfway mark of a pandemic-ridden fall semester, Kent State University continues to face mounting criticism regarding their efforts with student safety.
That's right. The school received a poor rating for its communication with students on their continuing COVID-19 efforts. Our Jenna Gobrecht has more on the rating and how the university is working to improve. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, guys. That's right. Yale University public health professor Howard Foreman created a website called We Rate COVID Dashboards in order to hold universities across the country accountable for providing up-to-date and easily accessible COVID-19 information to its students. Kent State received a C+ rating, a level that Yale claims is inadequate. Interim Associate Provost Manfred Van Dolman says that coronavirus response team is already working to improve the ratings.
For example, the information on how long it takes to get a test result is there. There is information on links to the county rates. So if you include those factors, we would actually be already at a B+.
In addition to the changes made to the dashboard, the university is also working to make testing more widely available. Tests are now available for free to students, even those who are asymptomatic.
In total, we had over 500 tests this past week, about 535, but also able to meet the demand for that as well.
The response team is mindful of the rise in cases on campus, especially ahead of Governor DeWine's weekly press conference, where he announces each county's public health risk level.
So if the county goes to level 4, and given the footprint that we also have in Portage County, we would go to remote classes in Portage County on the Kent campus.
As we approach Halloween weekend, the administration asks that students are especially mindful of their behaviors to help prevent the spread of the virus.
I think it's really important to also engage in conversations with students around safe behaviors, and that we do have a choice in the matter. It's up to us to wash our hands, to keep this distance, to not attend gatherings, and really think about what are the implications around our behavior.
For more information on how to get tested, visit the coronavirus dashboard at kent.edu/coronavirus/testing. For TV2 News in Frankenhall Studio, I'm Jenna Gobrecht.
Thank you for that report, Jenna. COVID-19 numbers continue to rise throughout Ohio, with over 2,000 new cases and 17 deaths in the past 24 hours. Now the total positive cases is reaching towards 205,000. Hospitalizations are at about 18,600 and deaths are at 5,200. Portage County has nearly reached 1,800 cases itself.
The Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities has selected Kent State University as one of 4 finalists for the association's 2020 Degree Completion Award. The annual award works to identify, recognize, and award institutions that employ innovative approaches to improve degree completion while ensuring educational quality. Joining Kent State as finalists for the award are the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Northern Arizona University, and California State University in Sacramento. The award winner will be announced at the APLU annual meeting, which will be held virtually November 9th through the 11th.
The Kent stage announced all the rescheduled dates for concerts canceled during the coronavirus pandemic. They sent out an update with all rescheduled events and said that if you bought tickets for any of them, they are still valid. They also mentioned that they have new concerts in the works for the upcoming year. The new shows will be announced in January of 2020.
Good Wednesday evening, Portage County. I'm Nathan Welsh with your weather forecast. So right now it's 58 out, though it really feels like 48. And with a dew point at 42, that gives us humidity at 72%. Visibility out to 10 miles. Those clouds are kind of starting to lift. And we have winds from the west at 7 miles per hour. Now, looking across northeast Ohio, we can see temperatures similar to what we have right here. Again, we're looking at high 50s, all the way up to 60 in Mansfield. And looking across the rest of Ohio, down to 47 in Athens, but again, otherwise around the 50s, as I said before. Now, if we look at the weather tonight, it's just going to be 46 out. It's going to be chilly and rainy, so not much stargazing to be had, but you can still catch what sunset we have at 6:25, and we have some winds from the northeast at 2 miles an hour. Now, stay tuned. I'll have your 7-day forecast and more after the break.
Thank you for that report, Nathan. Data from the Board of Elections is showing a 2-to-1 lead for Democrats in Portage County during early voting. The information shows that nearly 6,000 Republicans dropped off their mail-in ballots or voted in person, while 12,200 Democrats have done the same. In addition, nearly 15,800 independents have partook in early voting as well.
And with 6 days to go before Election Day, the votes cast already nationwide have surpassed half of the total turnout from the 2016 presidential election. More than 73 million Americans have already voted, according to data compiled by the United States Elections Project. The project says more than 48 million mail-in ballots have already been returned, and there have been more than 24 million votes cast in person during early voting across the country. And when we come back, lawmakers invited big tech CEOs from Facebook, Twitter, and Google. Find out more.
And a judge ordered ICE to release hundreds of detainees in California. Another change caused by COVID-19. Stick with us right here for more.
And the final stretch of the election campaign is heating up this week. TV2 returns in 90 seconds.
Black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Every day, millions of Americans use the internet to share their experiences and discuss issues that matter to them. Setting the rules for online discourse is an important challenge for our society, and there are principles at stake that go beyond any one platform. How do we balance free expression and safety? How do we define what is dangerous? Who should decide?
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg summing up in his opening statement right there the question that was at the center of today's Senate Commerce hearing. Lawmakers invited big tech CEOs from Facebook, Twitter, and Google to review censorship concerns in media. There are legislative proposals on the table to modernize a decades-old media law.
That's right, and lawmakers examined increasingly big tech's transparency and accountability for content moderation and discussed the impact of ad tech platforms on journalism and consumer privacy. Here is what Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey and Google CEO Sundar Pichai had to say to Congress this morning.
That concept of good faith is what's being challenged by many of you today. Some of you don't trust we're acting in good faith. That's the problem I want to focus on solving. How do services like Twitter earn your trust?
As a company whose mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful, Google is deeply conscious of both the opportunities and risks the internet creates.
A judge has ordered Immigration and Customs Enforcement to release hundreds of detainees amid a coronavirus outbreak. ICE says it will let go more than 250 detainees from its center in Adelanto, California. The detention facility is one of the largest in the country. Officials say 238 people at the center have contracted the virus as of Tuesday. The American Civil Liberties Union sued over the conditions at the facility. The judge ruled that the outbreak posed, quote, an unreasonable risk to each detainee's safety. An ICE senior official called the court order overreaching and warned that it placed the public at risk.
Tensions over police officers' use of force erupt again in the U.S. this time. It's in Philadelphia, where protesters have taken to the streets since Monday's incident where officers shot and killed a black man holding a knife. John Lawrence reports.
Mostly peaceful protests on the streets of Philadelphia Tuesday night. One day after police fatally shot Walter Wallace Jr. Wallace, who was holding a knife during the incident, had a history of mental illness.
His wife told him he is manic, he's bipolar, he's in crisis. And unfortunately, the officers were not equipped with A, the training, or B, the proper equipment.
Some looting, violence, and vandalism erupted in the aftermath of the shooting. Wallace's father asked for peace.
This is where we live, and that's the only community resource we have. If we take all the resource, burn it down, we don't have anything.
Local officials are investigating, and the Philadelphia branch of the Fraternal Order of Police defended the officers and asked the public for patience as facts are gathered.
Anytime that happens is a tragedy, for whatever reason. And I think we need to make sure that we follow up, find out what happened.
A law enforcement source tells CNN the two officers involved in the shooting are on desk duty for now.
I believe in the justice system. We got good cops, and we also got bad cops. So we all got to be whole accountable for what we do in life.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The Gulf Coast is bracing for yet another hurricane today after what has already felt like a relentless storm season. Camila Bernal was in New Orleans with the latest on the preparations for Hurricane ZETA.
I'm pretty confident we'll ride it out.
Just over 2 weeks after Hurricane Delta made landfall, residents along the Gulf Coast making last-minute preparations for yet another hurricane. ZETA is once again at hurricane strength and expected to hit Wednesday evening.
Do not have any fatigue, that now is not the time to lay back. It's the time to continue to stand firm and be prepared to respond to whatever comes our way.
ZETA is expected to bring possible tides from 4 to 8 feet above normal in some areas. Heavy wind and rain also expected. Mandatory evacuations have been issued along some coastal areas facing the threat of the storm.
The primary impacts will be the wind, and most of the damage that will happen will occur because of the wind. However, there will be some storm surge associated with it.
Hurricane warnings extended from Morgan City, Louisiana to the Mississippi-Alabama border. And it's not just the coast. More than 14 million people all the way through northern Georgia are under a tropical storm watch, with wind gusts potentially reaching up to 60 miles per hour in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Hello again, and welcome back to your Wednesday weather evening forecast. So what we're looking at right now is going to be some just clouds until later in the night when it's going to give way to rain. That's right, we're seeing some more rain. And that'll just continue into tomorrow. The rain will eventually dwindle off into the next day, luckily, but yeah, tomorrow, more rain. Now, the fun part, Halloween. So any of you have any Halloween plans, might want to base it around this kind of weather. We're looking at a sunny day, a nice clear sky at night. It's perfect. We got a sunset at 6:21, perfect for all that fun nighttime Halloween spooky activities, as long as it's not partying. But as we move on, we're going to look at the whole rest of the week. Again, we got that rain tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, okay, Friday and Saturday are cool. Sunday's not. We might see some snow, so watch out. Take advantage of that nice Saturday weather before it snows. We're going to just see some clouds on Monday and sun on Tuesday. So we're all looking forward to that around here. Of course, that lousy weather we've been having for the past week is finally letting up this weekend. And if you have any Halloween bucket list items left to finish off, this is your chance. I've been Nathan Welsh.
Thank you, Nathan. With less than a week until Election Day, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are making their final campaign pushes. Trump hit 3 states across the Midwest, including Michigan and Wisconsin. Biden stumped in Georgia, state Dems haven't won since Clinton in '92. Arlette Sains has more.
With the countdown to the election quickly winding down, former Vice President Joe Biden made 2 stops in Georgia, looking to flip the traditionally Republican state blue with a message of unity.
Something's happening here in Georgia and across America. People of different races, backgrounds, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they're coming together to transcend the old divides and show what's possible.
While in Florida, former President Barack Obama launched another attack against President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
And what's his closing argument? That people are too focused on COVID. He said this at one of his rallies. COVID, 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 he's complaining. He's jealous of COVID's media coverage.
And President Trump was apparently watching it in real time, complaining about his predecessor's comments in a tweet, and to supporters at a campaign rally in Wisconsin, ignoring social distancing guidelines against holding large gatherings as new coronavirus cases reach record levels across the United States.
Obama has no crowd. We have the opposite. We have so many people. They don't like it.
On his 3-state tour of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nebraska,
Now I've got to say, I'm working my ass off here.
Trump looked to appeal to suburban women voters.
So I'm saving suburbia. I'm getting your kids back to school. We're getting your husbands back to work, and everybody wants it.
And insisted the coronavirus crisis will soon be over, the same day the White House claimed it ended the pandemic, despite nearly 500,000 Americans testing positive for COVID-19 in just the last week.
Right now, it's COVID, 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 no matter what happens. COVID, COVID. No, we're rounding the term. We're rounding that beautiful turn, and it's going to be very good.
Biden accusing the president of giving up on fighting the coronavirus.
We can and we will control this virus. As president, I will never wave the white flag of surrender. Imagine where we'd be today with a president who practiced social distancing instead of holding super spreader events.
While Trump targets swing states and looks to hang on to those he won in 2016, the Biden campaign is aiming beyond traditionally blue and battleground states. Both Trump and Biden's running mate Kamala Harris will hold dueling events in Arizona later today.
Joe and I feel very strongly. Nobody's supposed to vote for us. We need to earn their vote. And that's why we are traveling around the country.
Now stay tuned to hear about the latest Black Lives Matter protest, along with cold cases that came back to light in your National News Minute.
And last night, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. Mackenzie Plfum will break down the action and more in sports when we come back.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Election Day is just around the corner, and TV2 will have the latest on the issues that affect you right here in Portage County.
We'll have reporters live throughout the region getting the answers and results you need to know.
The only local station that is truly Portage County. TV2 is your election coverage home.
Join us on Election Night, November 3rd, starting at 8:30 Eastern Time.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
From reopened cold cases to Disney's extended hours for the holidays.
Yes, our own Gabby Jonas has that and more in your National News Minute.
For a national news update in Bath, New York, Bath Police Department have reopened the cold case of 24-year-old Barbara Jane Alexkovich, who disappeared in 1973, and declared an alleged deceased suspect, Richard W. Davis, through a homicide cold case investigation DNA match. The Missoula County investigators allege Davis to have kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered 5-year-old Savon McGinnis in February 1974, predicting Davis did these same acts on Alexkovich. After 32 years, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series against Tampa Bay 3-1 in Game 6. Major League Baseball couldn't escape the fears that the pandemic would hold, but Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said, "It's just a special group of players, organization, just all that we've kind of overcome. I just knew we weren't going to be denied this year." On Monday, Superintendent of Scarborough Public Schools, located in Maine, led students to protest against email ban on controversial phrases such as Black Lives Matter. Emails told students to not address or wear anything political or controversial on school grounds. Here's what senior Mia Golder had to say on the issue.
I believe that Black Lives Matter is a human rights issue and it is not political, and therefore it has every place in our school.
Walt Disney World has added new hours for holiday seasons. Extended hours for peak holiday season dates start December 2020 through January 9th, 2021. The parks included for extended hours are Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. Reporting from Columbus, Ohio, I'm Gabby Jonas.
Thank you, Gabby. Now, last night, the Dodgers took home the World Series trophy home, but that was not after some aversion on the field. Third baseman Justin Turner was removed during the game for a positive COVID-19 test. Now, fans were confused as to why the MLB was conducting tests during the game, but Turner was still excited for his teammates, even though he was taken off the field. You can see his tweet here.
Now, Cuyahoga County Community College suspended spring athletics due to COVID-19. They are canceling 2021 sports at the college amid spike in positive cases of the virus in Ohio. Part of the decision is due to the health officials' prediction that the numbers will continue to trend upwards in the coming months. The community college suspended fall and winter sports back in July as well.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Last night, yet another LA sports team brought in the hardware as the Dodgers are now your 2020 World Series champs.
That's right. First the Lakers and now the Dodgers. LA is really winning big this year. I wish it was for Ohio. But let's check in with sports anchor Mackenzie Plfum, who has more on the MLB's final game of the postseason and more. Mackenzie?
Good afternoon, Portage County. I'm Mackenzie Plfum here with all of your sports news. From MLB World Series wins to NFL trades to wild but not necessarily shocking sports news in this crazy COVID world we're living in. Let's take a look. The Cincinnati Bengals have reportedly traded their all-time lead sacker, Carlos Dunlap. Dunlap is being traded to the Seattle Seahawks for offensive lineman B.J. Finney, which the Bengals desperately need. Dunlap had 2 years remaining on his contract extension, which was set to expire at the end of 2021. But with frustration growing with his role in the Bengals defense, it caused tension between coaches and ultimately causing a push in the trade. Dunlap was with the Bengals for 11 seasons. Now on to some World Series action. Game 6 of the World Series and the Dodgers lead 3-2. Arena starts the game out hot for the Rays with a home run to opposite field. Rays take an early lead 1-0. Snell pitching for the Rays only has 72 pitches in the bottom of the sixth, gives up a hit to center field before being taken out. You can see how disappointed Snell is here. Anderson in for the Rays, and Betts hits a hard-hit ball down the third base line. Barnes into third and Betts into second. The go-ahead run is on 2 for the Dodgers. The ball gets by Zunino, and Barnes makes it home with no throw to the plate. Tie ball game in the bottom of the 6th. Seager with a ground ball to first, and the throw to the plate not in time. Dodgers now lead 2-1. The Dodgers go on to win Game 6 3-1 and the 2020 World Series. This is the Dodgers' 7th title and their first in 32 years. Corey Seager was crowned World Series MVP. For those of you watching last night, you may have seen Dodgers third baseman Justin Turner get pulled mid-game. Well, after the Dodgers secured the World Series win, MLB released that they pulled Turner because his COVID-19 test came back positive. Fans and players were shocked and concerned, but JT took to Twitter to reassure everyone he was okay, saying, "Thanks to everyone reaching out. I feel great, no symptoms at all. Just experienced every emotion you can possibly imagine. Can't believe I couldn't be out there to celebrate with my guys. So proud of this team and unbelievably happy for the city of LA. Hashtag World Series champs." Justin Turner did return to the field later on to celebrate with teammates and take pictures. That is under investigation by the MLB. That's all I have for you guys this week. I'm Mackenzie Plfum. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mackenzie. All right, Hershey's candy, M&Ms, chocolate cupcakes, brownies, you name it. Today's the day to celebrate it. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
I hope all of you have your sweet tooth ready because it is National Chocolate Day. The celebration takes place on October 28th every year. An excuse to eat some chocolate is never really necessary, but reward yourself and take a bite out of your favorite chocolate bar today. And that'll do it for this evening's edition of TV2 News. Thank you for being with us tonight.
And for continuous updates and coverage on all things Kent State and Portage County, be sure to connect with us on social media at TV2KSU. I'm Shane Troyano.
And I'm Chris Abreu. We're here every weeknight at 6. We'll see you tomorrow.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.